Hello and welcome to another edition of the Catholic News Roundup. I'm Vic Faust. First up today, the Catholic Medical Association has come out foursquare against Obamacare. In an open letter, the group states, quote, "The United States is facing a crisis not only in healthcare financing and delivery, but in the healthcare reform process itself." They went on to say, there exists a real danger that misguided legislation could make our current problems even worse. Among other concerns, the Association of Catholic Healthcare Providers singles out conscious exceptions being allowed and government-mandated abortion funding. The number of Americans who do not identify with any particular religious group has nearly doubled since 1990. In 1990, about 8% of Americans said they belonged to no specific religion. In 2009, the number has swollen to almost 16%. Leading the pack, young males who were formerly Catholic. About 1/3 of the so-called nuns, meaning no religion, are former Catholics. Now, faithful Catholics say this is still further evidence of the despicable job the church in America has done in working toward the salvation of souls. Researchers say that in the next 20 years, more than a quarter of Americans will have no religious affiliation. Well, how about this? Pope Benedict will make the first visit to Britain by a pontiff in decades. Reporters traveling to New York with Prime Minister Gordon Brown reported news of the planned visit, but Brown's Downing Street office refused to officially confirm it. Archbishop Vincent Nichols, head of the Catholic Church in England and Wales, said he was encouraged and pleased by reports of the Pope's visit. He said the British government had invited the Pope on several occasions, but that any official confirmation would have to come from the Vatican. All right, stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium. CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world. CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media. And DFWCatholic.org, spreading the truth one city at a time.
A woman accused of stabbing a priest in a confessional at a Vero Beach, Florida church has been found not guilty by reason of insanity. Police said Josephine Gatchell, 57, entered Holy Cross Catholic Church in April and twice stabbed Reverend Michael Massero while he was changing out of his robe after giving his last confession. Witnesses say the woman was harboring suspicions that the priest was actually the Antichrist. Well, the uproar continues over the news that the U.S. Catholic Bishops' Conference has been funding pro-death groups with money from a special annual collection. Faithful Catholics across the country are becoming outraged as news of the reports become more widespread. So far, the U.S. Bishops' Conference has had no official response to the reports. I'm Vic Faust, and thanks for tuning in. Be sure to come back tomorrow for your daily dose of the Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And check out The Vortex today, where Michael Voris talks about how this could be the final nail in the coffin for the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, be sure and tell your friends about us. God bless.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web. And RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.